It took more than 6 years to make it happen, but a multi-million-dollar development in Kenwood is now scheduled to break ground next month. Chopper 9 shows you the site near Kenwood Town Center, where hundreds of luxury apartments, a hotel, and an office building will go up over the next couple of years. But it's not just the real estate that's changing in Sycamore Township. I-Team reporter Dan Monk shows how this project forced township officials to confront some uncomfortable questions.
Here comes the gallery at Kenwood. There goes the neighborhood Tracy Hughes has enjoyed for 25 years.
Actually, I think there's 90 trees on the site that are going to be taken down. They're going to be able to save 6.
For a period of 4 years.
Hughes begged Sycamore Township leaders to downsize the project.
The trustees weren't listening to the residents. I think they were listening more to developers.
That's why Hughes wasn't surprised to learn about the I-Team's analysis of campaign contributions to Sycamore Township trustees. It shows real estate developers contributed 43 cents of every dollar raised by trustee candidates since 2017. About a third of that money came from people involved in the gallery at Kenwood.
To me, that means that developers make contributions to an official, and they expect to get their projects approved.
There's no quid pro quo for anything with me.
Campaign filing shows Sycamore Township trustee Tom Weidman got 70% of his campaign coffers filled by developers in 2017, more than any other candidate.
When you look at my past contributors in the development world who came to me and said, I want you to do this project for me, and it wasn't good for the township, you know what I told them? No. I'm not doing it. I'm not voting for it.
Every community has some tension between developers and residents, but it reached a boiling point in Sycamore Township this year, thanks in part to the gallery at Kenwood. Activists like Hughes turned the November election into a referendum on the pro-growth agenda that Weidman has pursued for more than a decade.
The king is not the one in charge anymore. There's been a change in regime.
When Tom James defeated incumbent Republican Dennis Connor on November 5th, Weidman lost a reliable second vote on development projects.
I hope we all can work together, but I ran on him not being in charge anymore, essentially.
The power shift doesn't satisfy Hughes. 2 days after the election, Connor voted with Weidman on a $15 million financing plan that was the last major piece needed for the gallery at Kenwood to proceed.
I thought that the voters sent a message that they didn't like what was going on and maybe they should slow down.
Is it a mistake? I don't know. I think as it's finally gelling here, I think it's going to be a net plus to the community in the end because it's not as big as what was originally proposed.
In the meantime, the campaign cash keeps flowing. Investors and contractors involved in the Gallery at Kenwood project contributed $10,000 to Dennis Connor this year. That's 19% of all the money he raised. Weidman got $18,000 from the same group in 2017, or 36% of his fundraising total.
The reality is, I've always been a straight shooter.
Greg Fusaro's company, Capital Investment Group, gave $10,000 to Weidman through a limited liability company. That made it hard to tell where the donation was coming from.
We make political contributions to the people that we think can do the best job, and his track record is very enviable.
Trustee Jim LaBarbera says Weidman should have recused himself from voting on the project.
The $10,000 to me doesn't pass the smell test.
Weidman says the Ohio Ethics Commission advised him there was no conflict of interest and the project is worth supporting.
It's a good project for all the residents of Sycamore Township. I think I went way the heck out of my way to mitigate some of the issues for the residents, to make this that fine line of coexistence between the two. I worked very hard to do that, and I have no apologies for any of that.
I don't think you have to cater to developers. I think that developers should be part of the community, and I think that they should take into consideration the community they're trying to develop in.
Developer Greg Fusaro says that's exactly what he's trying to do. This month, he pledged $115,000 toward a neighborhood improvement fund. The money could pay for sidewalks or traffic controls. Hughes says she's still skeptical, but she does appreciate the developers being more collaborative. Dan Monk, 9 on your side.
The gallery at Kenwood isn't the only project that raised the hackles of Sycamore Township residents this year. For a deeper dive on development near Kenwood Town Center, Check out Dan's digital story on WCPO.com.